This video covers tasks and issues in Project Lifecycle Pro. We're back in our Big Dog Roofing demo environment, logged in as Paul Mastiff Project Manager. Paul is the project manager of the Dollars Cloud upgrade, which is upgrading Big Dog's financials from a desktop system to a cloud system. And if we open up the project here, you can see over here the standard Salesforce activity functionality where we can create tasks and we can create events. Now, when we have an object open, a record open, and we create a task or an event, they'll be automatically associated to that record. So in this case, since we have the project open, they will be associated to project. Now we've made some slight modifications to the tasks in two ways. One is no matter what record is open, so if a child record is open on the project, let's say interface upgrade risk, and we create a task, the task will be associated to this risk, as well as there's a custom field which associates the task or the issue to the parent project of this. Now that field isn't visible, but it's there for reporting purposes. So if I say we have a task here, which is the due date of that is by June. Assign that to our IT lead manager, Sophia. Actually, let's assign it to the developer, Dan. And this is not an issue, it's a task. The status is it's not started. Priority, let's say, is high. We start testing on time. All right, we save that. Assign to Dan. It's out here associated to this record. And I'll show you in a bit, though, but it's also associated to the parent project. So we can run reports that show all tasks associated with the project, regardless of at what level within the child objects, etc. The other customization was to create issues. So all that was done was the issue is basically a question that has to be answered and is usually assigned to somebody with a deadline. So in reality, it's just a task, but it's a specific type of task where we need to answer a question or a concern. So if I create a new task issue, you see the title has changed to new task or issue. The subject here, I need a question of so the issue is, can we leverage any standard dollars training from the software vendor? We don't have to build our own. Let's say the due date is out kind of in the future. We'll say the 4th of July. It's assigned to our change management person, who is Chris. He raised this concern in the meeting, so we're going to track it. All we do here is we click issue. It is now designated as an issue. So all we're using that for is in filtering reports, we can create an issues log view by filtering based on issue equals true. Let's say Chris has already started working on that. Priority is normal. Comments. Save it. And now we have this additional issue. So now let's go into reporting. Actually, before we do that, let's do this. Let's log out and log back in as one of these users who've been assigned an issue. I've logged in as Chris. He's going to open up the Dollars Cloud project. And now you can see all the issues in here for project. And also just say my activities. There we go. So he's added a filter. So he's now has an issue assigned to him. It's here. He can address it, update it, right? Add attachments, files, close it when it's done, right? Standard Salesforce functionality. Now let's log out as Chris. Let's go back into reporting as Paul. We're going to go to the standard reports provided by Project Lifecycle Pro. So here we have a report which is open issues for project managers. So neat little feature we have here is these reports will automatically filter the projects to the projects where Paul is assigned as the project manager. You may have 100 projects. Paul is going to see those where he is assigned project manager because that's the one he cares about. So what are the open issues, unresolved issues on all his projects? And there we go. How to populate the test data. Can we leverage any standard dollars training? Status, priority, who's assigned to, comments, the project it's related to, and also the record it's related to. So if it was actually related to, let's say, a risk or thing, it would list that here. And he can jump right to that record using links. He can open up the issue directly using that link. Okay, let's go back into reports, and we have a report called Overdue Tasks by Project Manager. Again, so it's going to filter all the tasks for just those projects where Paul is the project manager, and he's got an overall count up here at the top. He's got 2 overdue tasks across all his projects, and both those tasks are on the Dollars Cloud Upgrade project. One assigned to Chris, one assigned to Becky. Pull these open, see if there's any comments, attachments, etc. to those. So he has visibility across, consolidated visibility across all his projects. Things he may need to look into. Back to reports. So here are upcoming tasks. So as the project manager is planning the upcoming week, keep an eye on, all right, he's got a lunch, got to order lunch for the sprint retrospective by 5/22, and it's actually signed to himself. So he can see what's upcoming in the project and the upcoming week and do some planning. Okay, so that is tasks and issues, how they're handled in Project Lifecycle Pro. The one thing that I need to clarify is one thing is not handled Project Lifecycle Pro. Project Lifecycle Pro is not a work planning tool. So the intent here is that these are kind of ad hoc tasks that come up during the project, don't necessarily need to be documented in the project work plan. Now, if you use a native Salesforce project plan work planning tool, most of those tools actually do create a Salesforce task, a clone of the task in the project plan is a clone of the task in the work plan is also created here as a Salesforce activity/task. And you can easily integrate, add a lookup on the work planning tools to the Project Lifecycle Pro project. And then you will have a consolidated view of tasks, both the ad hoc tasks that are created manually here using this function, and all the tasks that are assigned through the project work plan. but that would be an integration with the work planning tool. Fairly easy to do. So that is it for tasks and issues.